Hello, this is Nicki Sanders with Nicki Sanders Leadership Consulting, and welcome to my second official video with More Than Social Work with Nicki Sanders. So I am going to trust that you all can hear me over the wind, but there is a reason that I am outside recording this video for you. Nature is what I love. It's where I love to be. And since this video is kind of who is Nicki Sanders, so I can let you get to know a little bit more about me, this was the perfect office to record from. So I love the trees. I love the nature. Not winter weather so much, but because I love being outdoors so much, I often navigate the winter weather and do my daily walks. So after this video is done, I am going to take my walk for the day. But thank you for joining me for More Than Social Work with Nicki Sanders. And some of you may just be finding me for the first time here on YouTube. Some others of you may have been following me on social media at Nicki Sanders CEO. But I want to just share a little bit more about how we got here sitting outside recording this video. So there are lots of titles, labels, categories, all those things that I can share with you that I fit into, and I will do that. So if I want to kind of go down the list, right? First generation college student for my bachelor's and my master's degree. I was a non-traditional social work student. I am a native Washingtonian. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and actually a first generation Washingtonian as well, but spent lots of time in the country, right? In the country, in North Carolina. And so I have always loved farms. I've always loved farms and horses and cows. And I've always said, I want to live on a farm. I've been saying that since I was a little girl. But in my senior year of high school, I was like, where do I go? What do I do? Right? I knew that I needed to go to college, but I didn't have a plan as a first generation college student. But what I did have was good grades. I also had options. So I'll share another story about how I landed where I landed. But for this video, I began my undergraduate degree in a bachelor's of social work program because the only careers that I knew were available to me were social work or teaching. Now, fortunately for me, I've been able to do both of them things. But at the time, those were the only quote-unquote professional careers that I knew were available to me. The reason that I chose social work instead of education at that time is because in my senior year, I worked as a teacher at my former elementary school. I didn't work as a teacher. I worked as a tutor in my former elementary school. And for the December holiday, right? Christmas, December holiday, we worked with the kids to do a service learning project. Now that project was for teen moms in foster care. Now, growing up in the city, I had friends and family members who were teen mothers, but that was the first time I was really kind of introduced to teen moms in the foster care system. And that was when I made the decision to go into social work versus going into education. There's the airplane and the wind. What happens when I work outside? We're gonna keep it real and keep it going. And so working with those, to get the gifts for those young women, I made the decision that I wanted to go into social work, specifically to work with teen moms in foster care, to provide housing and support. And so that was my goal, right? That was the goal. I started out in the Bachelor of Social Work program up until my junior year. Some things happened related to the school I was attending. Share that with you in another video too. And I ended up transferring to Trinity College at the time, which is now Trinity Washington University. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology. Fast forward, all the things that I wanted to do as a social work graduate, I was able to do with my bachelor's degree in sociology because I was very intentional about the work, but also had the right language to describe what I wanted to do. And I had spent so much time focused on learning and supporting and being a resource and volunteering around teen moms in the city. So I worked for 7 years before enrolling in a master's program. I did my master's program as a part-time student who was still working full-time. So 3.5 years to get my master's degree. At that time, I was also a mom of a preteen and a teenager. And then when I left that position, I went into my other dream position. And I stayed with that organization for 11 years. So if we want to talk about titles, right? I went from first generation college student to a first generation college graduate, right? Um, and after graduating, there are things that I've always said that I wanted to do, and your words have power. So say what you mean what you say, and watch the words that you speak. And so I always knew that I wanted to teach college classes. And so I would say that over and over again. And one day I'm going to teach college classes. I also made the decision that I wanted to start an internship program. So those two things combined, and I ended up becoming an undergraduate professor at my alma mater, the place where I got my sociology degree, in 2014. In 2013, I started an internship program at supervising students at Trinity College. So from 2013 up until now, I have supervised students, graduate and undergraduate students in social work, sociology, psychology, human relations, family studies, public health, nursing. So I love working. And so my social work has allowed me to be the social worker and a teacher, the thing that I said as a high school senior. In 2007, before I got my master's degree, I had already moved into leadership. So I've been in social work leadership since 2007 in nonprofit organizations. 2013, became an internship supervisor. And I was already a manager, right? So then I decided to, and I had been working with volunteers as well, become an internship supervisor. And then 2014 is when I started teaching as an undergraduate adjunct professor. So in all of those things, I've worked in daycare centers, Head Start. I've worked in community health organizations. I have worked in residential programs. I worked in school-based programs. But what I want you to really take away from this, because that was just kind of my mini resume, right? Not the real resume, but my mini resume. What I am going to share with you constantly is that social work is so diverse, and that once you know how to leverage your skills and experience, that your social work skills are highly transferable, that you don't have to do the traditional social work, which is, the therapy, the school social work, the child welfare services. I've never done those things. Actually, that's not true. My my foundation internship placement, field placement for my master's degree, I actually did do a mental health field internship because, again, everybody says you need that, you need that. And truthfully, I just wanted to get what I needed to get so that I could graduate. That was what was available to me. I completely knew that I never wanted to be a therapist. I did that because it was what I needed to do at the time. And I don't regret it at all. It's a great experience. And I do know what my capabilities are and where my competencies are not. And it confirmed for me that this is not what I want at all. So my bachelor's degree is in sociology from Trinity Washington University, at that time Trinity College. My master's degree is from University of Maryland at Baltimore School of Social Work, with a master's degree in social work with a concentration in management and community organization, because I knew that I wanted to go into nonprofit leadership, program management, program development. So I'm very intentional there. And a specialization in social action and community development. And again, I knew that I wanted to go into community development. So that is where I am. Now, all of those things is a roundaway map, right, or outline of how I am here today, sitting outside on this bench. So around this time, 2 years ago, after the pandemic, right, I made the decision that I was going to put more effort into my goal and dream of living on a farm, working with farmers. And I said to myself, and I said to some other people, I put it on social media, that I wanted to use my macro social work skills and experience to help local farmers, that I did not want to work in a traditional office anymore. And that is exactly how I landed here. I've been managing an internship program with an environmental organization. It's an amazing organization. It's so much more than an environmental organization. Managing the internship program there. So I get to work outside on a farm. I get to be outside in nature, and also still teaching as an adjunct right now at Howard Community College. And so I am excited to share with you not just my journey, but how you can use the strategies, the steps, the tools to carve out your own journey and what that means to you in terms of how you utilize your social work degree, skills, education. So I've said this on social media over and over and over again, and I'm going to share it with you here, and you'll hear me say it again. I want social workers to be empowered to believe and understand that they can do anything with their social work degrees that they want to do, right? Now, do I mean you can take your degree and go become a doctor tomorrow? Of course not, right? But your social work skills are highly transferable. I want you to remember and understand, I'm going to say this again and again and again, that you get to define social work career success on your own terms. I'm going to say again and again and again that professional burnout is not a social work rite of passage. I'm going to say again and again and again that social workers do not take a vow of poverty, that you should be paid well for your social work education, expertise, and experience. And I'm going to say over and over and over again that your social work skills are high income skills, and you can leverage your social work degree even if you don't have a social work license. So this is Nicki Sanders with Nicki Sanders Leadership Consulting, about to go do what I do, grab my gloves and take a walk through nature. And shout out to environmental social work, green social work, eco social work. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But this is exactly where I want to be at this point in life. And I invite you to go along with me on this journey. I want to share my strategies, my wins, my successes, my challenges, right? So that you can avoid some pitfalls, but also so that you can navigate your career and build the social work career that you want to build. So this is Nicki Sanders with Nicki Sanders Leadership Consulting. Please feel free to subscribe to More Than Social Work with Nicki Sanders, share it with a friend, and I will see you very soon for our next video in More Than Social Work with Nicki Sanders. Thanks for watching. Bye.